finish escape or not from our sword states. Oh, actually, our race is off, so we'll get there very shortly. But the short of it, what I was about to get to, is we're going to get not a sword, but a guaranteed weapon at Uncle. Any favorites that you have there, Mally?
My personal favorite is probably the fire rod, just because it's useful as a light source in some instances, and it's also very powerful, and it's fire.
Yeah, I enjoy the fire rod. I'd like to see a Cane of Samaria this race. I've had a Cane of Samaria once in my own, but I'm not sure I've seen it in a tournament race yet.
Yeah, I've seen the Cane of Samaria actually be an escape, but it hasn't been the starting weapon. That's another interesting one, so we're coming up on our weapon now. We'll see what we get.
Cane of Burna.
You got a cane, not quite the one you wanted. Probably not the one they wanted either.
Yeah, probably not. It's often a good idea when you get a magic weapon to kill these two guards at the start. Although we got a bomb, both players getting a bomb drop, because you do get basically half of your magic bar back, or sorry, yes, half of your magic bar back from underneath those pots. So kill those guards; they might have something like a bomb drop.
Yeah, it's usually faster just to use the magic weapon. The Cane of Burna does take a little bit longer to kill them than I think picking up the pops would, but it's definitely a good idea.
And it is only 2 hits. I'm not sure how the lag affects how long it takes, though.
Yeah. They both did get a bomb, which is really good. Neither of these guys will have to worry about missing something in the back of escape.
Yeah. Reaper gets real fun. So the interesting thing about Cane of Burna, I'm pretty sure it always pushes enemies up. Important note for all of you who are new to this and haven't seen much of it. The Cane of Burna, I believe, always pushes enemies up when the star makes contact.
Yeah, that's what I've seen in pretty much every instance. One other thing about the Cane of Burna is, while the magic use, while it's active, isn't too bad, when you actually activate it, you end up using like a flat amount. So it's really hard to use this between multiple rooms, just because you're burning magic constantly turning it on.
I believe the cost is very comparable to a rod shot, actually. But the continuity cost is quite low. Nice bottle there.
Yeah, that's always real nice. Kepasagi did forget to come in here and get the key.
Well, no, he was picking up a magic pot. It landed on the stairs.
Oh, okay. That was weird. But that makes sense.
Yeah, Problem's having no problem with the with getting these very quick kills with the Cane of Burna.
Yeah, and using pots for the ball and chain guard makes a lot of sense. It takes a lot of magic to actually kill him. Ooh, he finds boots!
Yeah, Kepasagi is actually an interesting point here, where it might, depending on how familiar he is with where all the magic refills are in this dark swamp, it might be effective here for him to take a death to get the quarter magic refill. He is not going to do so by the look of it, but just that's another little thing here. After you've rescued Princess Zelda, you will get a quarter magic refill if you have a magic weapon upon death.
Yeah, in the sewer there are quite a few magic pots, but you usually don't pick those up. I'm sure a lot of people learned about this for the first time, just for this tournament. One thing that Kepasagi could also rely on is they did get the boots. So the bomb they have, while it'll be useful in Kakariko, they could use that to hit the key rat and then just bonk into the escape wall and open up that room.
Yeah. So we'll see what comes through here. It'll also be interesting to see if both runners make sure they remember those bonk rocks on the way to Kakariko as well. It's one of those things where you're so used to not doing it early that we'll have to see if both runners remember to do it when they first get out of escape here.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of the fastest escapes. These boots, man.
Now for everyone's favorite room, the snake hallway.
Yeah, you don't really have many options here. You just gotta take your damage.
Problems probably could have activated it for a cycle, given the magic he has, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah, not really worth IMO.
Especially not with the already having 350 rupees, so you're not even looking for scattered rupee drops either to help you get enough money for because you really want 150 rupees going into Kakariko, 100 for the bottle vendor, and typically most people will want another 50 to be able to buy 10 bombs, unless you got really lucky with your bomb drops early on. That can depend exactly on what did happen, because there's lots of, like, you know, eight bomb drop enemy drops as well, of course.
Yeah, you can't. Ooh. As I said, I've seen this cane and escape, but it's never been the starting weapon.
Every time.
Man.
Kepasagi not having any problem making sure he was able to finish escape there. Well, I say that he is down to 1 heart. That is quite a few hits, as a lot of the enemies here don't even do a half heart of damage. But it can be a little scary depending on how the RNG works on some of these rats in the last 2 rooms.
Yeah,
right, there's
using...
the heart. There's the heart there, though, so you're pretty safe.
Yeah, did opt to use the bomb just because the rat got in the way of the door, did not want to risk anything, which is very smart.
Problems remembering to get the bonk rocks here. Heart container. Nice to see heart containers early on. You don't really want to be running around on below 5 hearts for too long if you can help it.
No, absolutely not. I've seen some low percent Dark World go pretty badly just because it's very difficult. So the more safeties you get early, the better.
Nice 1 rupee from the single rupee drops from the bush crabs.
That's rough.
Another heart container on Aghanim.
Now that one, I say you skip that.
Yeah, there's a potential that you might pick it up in the long run if Aghanim's required for other reasons, but you're not going to do Aghanim for a heart container.
Yeah, it's quite an investment.
A nice rod.
Alright, well that's a funny shaped mushroom. It's
Yep.
one of the items that can be almost anywhere, so it's always really nice to find it early. Kepasagi did get a bunch of bombs from the tree pull.
Interesting. Did Problems not pull the tree, or did he get a different drop from not taking damage or something like that?
He must have gotten a different pool of items, because he did not get those, or else I imagine he would have got them.
Yeah, like, there's no way you skip the bombs, because like I said, it would have effectively saved you 50 rupees. And a visit to the bomb hut, which would be similar, if not even slower, than just picking up the 4 drops of bombs. So yeah.
Right,
Anyways, as we get into Blind's hut.
For 5 items down here.
A good enough time to pick up the shovel. If you're gonna see the shovel, now's as good a time as any. Just means that we have to remember to use it after the race, after we check the race game.
Yeah, we will run all the way over there and check that very early. And there's not usually any better time to check that. If you have the mirror and you're checking Stumpy, you can do it then. But who knows how long that's going to be.
And who knows if it's required right now. It's the other reason why you don't really want to leave it, because it might be slightly slower than doing it in the most optimal routing, but you might not even get to the optimal routing before it's required.
Yeah, precisely.
The well having some money and stuff for us, yeah, so not too much here. We've got quite a few items, but not a lot that's given us much progression yet.
Yeah, not yet. The silver arrow is, of course, never unwelcome. That single arrow, though, yeah, you can keep that. 100 rupees for that, can you believe that?
I know, right? It's a silver one, it was expensive, okay.
I can go to Eastern Palace and get those for free by the dozen.
We're gonna get a chicken hut here. We're gonna get a chicken throw. Not soft locking ourselves by having an invisible chicken over our head.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time, then it happened to me once, and I had to save and quit. I'm like, okay, that's enough of that.
I did the thing, I'm done now. Sick Kid has 300 rupees.
Okay, so very money-heavy seed thus far, which is
Yeah,
nice.
that is almost enough money to get through the rest of the game by itself already. If you never go to Zora, it is enough, but that Zora's the big one on the table there.
Yeah, that's pretty much the thing you're worried about money-wise for most of the game, I would say. It's gonna be really hard to get up to 500 rupees without those 300 rupee drops.
Yep. Problems straight doing the race game. Probably not an awful idea with the boots. You get to do it pretty fast, plus save a bomb from just getting to bonk a wall. Problem's having a little bit of problem getting his boot dash started, but no problem there. Single rupee.
Not worth.
Not quite. Shovel time.
Yeah, I've actually seen quite a few early shovels. So the shovel dash is always one of my favorites.
The lawnmower, as I like to call it.
Yeah, you don't actually dig up anything that way, but it looks cool.
Kepasagi accidentally blocking from view what was on the race game. Had to move a little bit just to make sure it wasn't something he wanted.
Yeah, it's always worth the extra second just to be absolutely certain.
That one guard decided to be really skinny and just sliding between the tree and the grass. Funny
pretty
little
nimble.
thing they can do.
They hide between the grass, like the blades of grass too. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
it's crazy. We really haven't found any progression so far that's actually relevant to us immediately. This
Aside
is
from
interesting. Yeah, that did open up the bonk rocks.
Yeah, open up the bonk rocks, open up the library. Neither of them had anything of real value to us. Oh, look, the other green rupee. We found both the green rupees already.
Well, it's good that we're getting all these great items out of the way right away.
Did we get the single arrow? We've got like all of the low count drops already. Gonna see some bomb strats that I don't. Oh, we got one. So often when you do have a good bomb count, you will see a lot of runners that are used to using bombs in this cave, in the mini Moldorm cave, still use bombs just to avoid having to walk around. Well, now we're set for money.
Oh my gosh. No wonder they're charging $100 for one arrow. The money's literally everywhere.
Yep. The Dark World's the declining world in this game.
Alright, Ice Rod Cave. I mean, we don't really have a whole lot of options and things to check right now, but it's always really, really good to check this in this version of Logic. It has the highest single location for progression in this version of the Logic.
I should probably look at the 25k seed analysis at some point. I still haven't. Well, that wasn't progression, but that's the second seed today already that's had a very early red mail.
Yep.
Is that a water walk setup?
That is a water walk setup. No, it is.
Oh, he always has to go down to the next level, right?
Yeah, if you drop off there, there's a waterfall. It doesn't do you any favors.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting glitch. We don't see a lot of it, but when you have boots this early, it makes checking everything on the Lake Hylia route really, really quick.
I'm surprised he's... Can you not go through warps when you're water walking? Is that what's going on here?
No, you can.
Okay, I'm surprised... Because... it stays armed. Does the state stay armed? I'm not too familiar with water walk.
I don't think it stays armed if you go back on land, so we'll probably have to pay Clipper out of here. Or he's just going to save and quit.
That's an interesting choice then, because I feel like it would have made more sense to check the waterfall cave while you had water walk armed.
I think maybe Again, I'm not an expert on this glitch or anything, but I think
Maybe
maybe
it
it
breaks
deactivates.
when you enter the cave.
Yeah, I think that might maybe be it.
Perhaps. I'm not an expert on it. I recently saw something talking about that being a way to arm water walk, so I was able to recognize it for that, but aside from that... Green Pendant Misery Mire.
That's a pretty good pendant dungeon, in my opinion.
Both racers right in the same spot here. Oh look, flippers, everything's in sequence all of a sudden. Not like we actually found anything, but...
Yeah.
It makes problems not going to Zora mean a little bit more, because he very easily could have completed the fake flippers and gone to the Zora's domain, but he would have only been able to check Zora and confirm what was on the ledge, so it was a low-value play at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Coming to Eastern, this is also stuff that can have a high percentage of being required. Agnes Cave as well also has a pretty high percentage, especially for if it's a progressive sword or a progressive glove. That's also very high percentage. So,
Yeah.
but coming to Eastern also makes sense. I mean, you're coming here to check Sarashla anyway.
And we're still a lot of items from being able to do anything. We're at least are we still 3 items away from like any Dark World access? I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we can't do Ega 1 until we get at least... Well, yeah, so we can do Ega 1 and 2, but we don't have a Moon Pearl still either, so...
That might end up being required. We do need a lamp and a Master Sword. There's a Moon Pearl.
There's a Moon Pearl.
So now we need Master Sword and lamp to do Ega 1. We need...
Master Sword or cape and lamp. Or we need gloves and either the second gloves or the hammer.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, there's no real reason to take too many gambles just yet, because no single item's going to open up the world to you right now.
Yeah, we just found everything right away. That's really nice. So, let's see. I guess we're going to tag in this cave, or Zora. One of the two is about to happen.
Looks like Zora, probably. Although I'm not... Or maybe we're... Can he arm the water walk or something? Oh, we have flippers. I'm being silly, of course. We have lots of... What am I talking about? It looks slow.
Yeah, we can walk in the water, kind of. It's really slow. It's worse than walking on the water. But yeah, this makes sense. This is 4 items, and Agina is just one of those things you don't really want to do quickly.
And as we said, there's no real one item that unlocks a lot right now. There's gloves. That now one item can actually unlock a fair amount. Agina made no real sense to do because...
Well, we couldn't.
Because there was nothing that it was really going to unlock that was going to be significantly of note.
That's a sword. That's a sword. Oh no. Okay, well, we hope that Zora.
Well, I must say now we're one item away from any Dark World access.
Yeah. We hope the old man in the desert or this guy has a glove. Oh, thank God.
Glove. Okay, Steve.
Yeah. And I'm sure that was exactly what was going through Problem's mind right there.
Yeah. So, time to go to... I would imagine it's time to go to Kakariko Village. I don't see any reason why he'd go up Death Mountain yet. Especially since it's not in logic. And it's only 2 items. We're gonna get a quick check of the King's Tomb.
This is another one that can be kind of tricky to remember as soon as you get the gloves and boots.
Yeah, it's not quite as likely to be something because of how much is opened up, but it's the fire rod.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good check.
just a little bit of silliness. Started off real slow for a bit, and then suddenly we've got Dark World access in about 3 minutes. We went from having zero access to Dark World to having all access to Dark World.
And like almost the last place you checked, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was worried about that. Skullwoods is a pendant. Feels bad.
And was that 5 Turtle Rock 5, if I saw correctly? Maybe, I'm not sure.
I believe so.
I think Thief's Town was our other red crystal.
Yeah, I think you're right. Admittedly, I was looking at the pendants, but I believe you're correct. Still, coming into Skullwoods, there are only 2 items here, but it's still nice just to dip into. Very rarely do you have a better chance to do this, and more than once, you'll get burned if you don't check this, so...
Yeah. The question, of course, becomes, do you bother? How far do you go in this? And with how experienced Problems is, I don't think he'll have any problem going all the way to Moth if he has to for both items with what he's got, especially with the red mail. But I don't know what to expect in this case because it's very much a gamble every step deeper you go.
Yeah, if you can do it quickly, with the Cane of Samaria, clearing out the backside doesn't take a super long time, but at the same time, it's still a few minutes that might not be required. It's tough. Especially because, yeah, there's one. Especially because a lot of these more experienced runners like to not go into Thieves' Town without the hammer, just so they don't have to worry about getting locked out of an item, potentially. Problems is done, though.
Not paying enough attention to what was in Thieves' Town or in Village of Outcast there.
I believe that was a hurt container? Piece of art, something.
Don't do it, Kepasagi. Okay, we're doing it.
Well, you know, this is one of those things. Might pay off.
You don't have a mirror either, or a hammer. This isn't gonna work. Or does he have a mirror? Did we miss the mirror?
Maybe? No. Okay.
No, we didn't miss the mirror.
This is still completable. You can save and quit and come back here, and that will be something that a lot of people want to put off for a long time just because it takes so long. So if it's something...
The only real reason I was saying don't do it was I don't think you did the digging game yet. And once you pick up the frog, you can't do the digging game until you drop the frog off.
Yep, can't do that with followers for some reason. I'm not sure why.
There's probably some reasons coded into the vanilla game, but...
Well, you pay for one ticket, you can't bring your friend in to dig with you.
Yeah. Even if you leave the chest 3 screens away, it still can't do it.
He knows. That said, getting the frog, maybe doing dig game first would have been better, but actually getting the frog before you go into Thieves' Town doesn't feel too bad to me. Ooh, there's Hookshot.
Yep. Hookshot's interesting because it does put a lot of value onto the Death Mountain play, even before we find the lamp or the flute.
Yeah, that's, if you sequence break up there, that's everything but Hera and the tablet that you can at least get the information on.
Yeah. And if we get hammered by then, it's not, we can even get access to Hera.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Kepasagi go all the way to Hype Cave to check that.
Yeah, it seems like it would have made sense.
Because if the hammer's there, suddenly Thieves' Town is really good. But hey. Okay, so Smith was a bust, but the purple chest is also available, which we might get after the Dark World stuff here, Thieves' Town.
Yeah.
And we might take that down and do Hype Cave at the same time. It's hard to say.
Yeah, exactly. Kepasagi realizing that he never did King's Tomb.
And good and bad that you went to get this. Might have been faster to save or quit to get there, but getting the fire red is important.
Yeah. Our piece in the attic, not gonna matter a lot.
Oh, but whoa.
We're actually really healthy this seed, given red mail and 11 or 12 hearts, depending on which runner we're talking about.
Yeah, we're not even 30 minutes in, and they've got as many hearts as some runners get the entire seed. It's crazy.
Well, Sagi is likely doing the race game, I would imagine. But we must have all the items in Thieves Town, because Problems didn't even open the small chest there.
I hope that's why they did not open that. Be unfortunate if that wasn't the reason.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's probably it. So, blind. I don't imagine Problems will have any problems with this fight. But if he had more magic, Cannon Burna would be a really nice item. Cannon Burna actually just destroys blind on every level.
It's a little slow because of the fact that it does cause some lag, so the sooner you can get off that crutch, the better overall for any newer runners, but it's definitely a fantastic way to just get through blind for your first couple of runs, for sure.
Yeah, or if you really want to be sure that this is the time you're going to take down blind. Really
if you ever get down to that point where you're under 2 hearts and you just want to go, no, I'm not dying.
Yeah, the lag it causes is much less than actually walking to the boss and redoing it over again. So don't be afraid to use it.
Hello, Lamp.
Okay, so Death Mountain is now in logic. Got a mushroom. Yep. I give that a 4 out of 10 just because Lamp. Mushrooms and maybe that can bump up the score. We find out what that is.
Heck, two items that mean something puts at least like a 6 for me. Like, come on.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if the reason Kepasagi did not go to the Hype Cave with the frog is maybe they thought when they have a follower, they can't actually go in there.
Perhaps.
I believe it's only the two exits, I think, that you can't actually enter.
Yeah, it's two entrance location.
But there's only one entrance to a dungeon. Well, when you leave the dungeon, apparently that counts. When you defeat the boss and it teleports you out, that counts, apparently.
I didn't even realize, of course, we have another 300 rupees, so Dark World didn't have no money at least.
That was the last of the money. That was all of it. The kids are gonna go hungry now.
Yep. If and when we find the flute, anyone can always go pick up some potions. That could always be nice, but no guarantee we find the flute anywhere useful in this seed, with Misery Mire being a pendant.
Yeah, flute may not be making an appearance till Ganon's Tower, if ever. So definitely coming up here at any point is really nice. Coming up here with the hookshot is amazing. Coming up here with the hookshot mitts is just your dream.
Missing the mirror is a little bit of a pain, but
yeah, it does make your routing a little bit trickier because you can't come back from the Dark World. but all the same.
Missing the mirror and also missing the hammer, because if you have the hammer, you can also at least open up the top entrance of Turtle Rock. Although often you probably won't see that with mirrorless routing anyways. Oh look, it's the Uncle Bomb Drop.
Well, as long as we don't have to start on Death Mountain in the next version of the randomizer, I'll accept it.
That might be coming for all we know, considering what the implications were that I've heard from the different start states.
Oh no. How could you see that problems? I didn't see that. I have no idea what that was. Maybe a boomerang?
I must say, I thought I saw a hint of blue, but...
Alright, well, there's a decent chance that hammer could be up here as well, which would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely can help out the routing. Really, anything could be here. Like that's the whole trick at this point, is that we're fully in logic, so any item could be anywhere we have access to right now. Tempered sword.
Alright. 14 hearts, 30 minutes.
Yep. And we're not going to see any problems with the Ganon fight at the end of this race. Oh look, another 300 rupees.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, there's the Bloomerang.
Problems may have problems, but money isn't one of them.
It doesn't look low enough for what I'm used to doing, but it's probably fine, yeah. I'm not super well versed in that bomb jump, but my whole strategy for that bomb jump at the moment is do it fast or just fail it and move along.
Yeah, it feels like one of the more generous bomb jumps. I'm not sure why. It's really hard to fall down the pit, and generally you can just eyeball where you are, and it'll just work. It seems like it should.
Yeah. The interesting thing for anyone who's not used to that bomb jump or is just apprehensive about trying it, you actually don't need to readjust your vertical direction once you've placed the bomb. You basically just get to that bottom corner, place the bomb, and you get hit across in that slight diagonal that you need naturally. And yeah, just to answer the quick thing in chat, Problem's definitely at an advantage right now. He's been routing very efficiently this seed. So he's definitely got a fairly solid time advantage over Kepasagi right now.
Yeah, and that's a little scary because so far the seed's been fairly linear, and in a linear seed, it's really hard to make up time on your opponent.
Yeah. It's always interesting. There are lots of plays that you could make at this point, depending on how far Kepasagi feels behind. The Ice Palace is definitely a play you could make in the very near future. You have everything you could ever want for going into Ice Palace, except for maybe a better sword. It does feel a little. It feels a little bad to be doing Cold Stare with 1 bar of magic, no bombos, and Master Sword.
Yeah. The thing about actually getting Cold Stare, we do need the hammer for just
yes, the
fighting
hammer,
Cold
of course.
Stare.
Well, not just fighting Cold Stare, actually, the rest of right side as well.
Yeah, that's right. There are those moles on the upper floor. Blocks 2 chests from you if you don't have the hammer.
Hello, Flute.
Alright, well, I know where that's going to send problems.
Yep.
Someplace they probably don't want to go.
Well, you don't mind checking. I don't think most people mind checking Meyer area.
The Meyer area, of course.
But
it gets scarier if we don't find anything in Meyer area, and the medallion happens to be Quake.
yeah. Interesting that we're doing a mushroom check after we just got the flute. Oh, actually, I think I know why. Do you know what I'm thinking, Mally?
Maybe they are gonna save and quit if this is nothing so they can do the fake powder lich?
Hard reset, yeah.
Yeah,
Not save and quit. Do not save and quit this.
Right, that's what I meant. Oh, but the
What's
hammer.
the hammer?
Okay, that score just stumped up to 7 out of 10. That hype K was amazing. Kepasagi did opt to come all the way back here to Mothula.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
With Red Mail Master Sword and 11.5 hearts at the moment, you've got a lot of safety in this fight. The spikes do 1 heart each still, which so actually getting hit by Mothula is actually preferable to be getting hit by the spikes in this fight at the moment. Always an interesting little conundrum.
Yeah, if you had Bird Mail, just give Mothula a big hug. Keep slashing. Hope they die before you do. Problems activating their flute.
Oh, spikes, please. We're good.
This fight is very unpredictable just for that. Oh no! It's just an air upgrade. Well, if this is a Ped seed, Kepasagi has a slight advantage in that respect. If it's not, that was a big waste of time.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But we'll see, I mean...
Meanwhile, Deadrock's doing what Deadrocks do best to problems.
Can't believe...
Be in the way.
I can't believe they would make an enemy that just gets in your way. It's not even threatening. It's not like a Deadrock's to kill you unless something else has already done most of the work. They're just there to annoy you.
No, be careful of that. Someone might go find that clip and put it and clip again. Someone lost, in an NMG run, someone lost 3 hearts to the one in front of Tower of Hera once.
Oh gosh, an NMG, that's a bigger deal than normal Randomizer. Because in NMG, you don't actually get a lot of safety. Well, we can go into they have that hammer.
Yep. Since it's a crystal, we just decided to come straight here, I guess.
Yeah, we have a fire source. We can clear this out. And there's pretty much no reason not to come here.
Yeah, pretty much. Because you're really sort of... one of the big things we're still looking for at this point is access to Desert Palace. As well as the bow. Is that really all we need for Go Mode aside from Medallion from Misery Mire?
We need Ether for Total Rock. We need Mirror for
Okay, we know it's Ether? Okay. Oh yeah, we do need Mirror regardless. So we need Mirror. If we don't necessarily need Book, but Book may lock Mirror.
Yeah, so Mirror and Bow and Ether. And that's it for item Go Mode. I love coming here with the boots. Tower of Hera makes getting the big chest a lot simpler.
Yeah. Hookshot and boots.
Yeah.
Whoops. Bomb went too far.
And that does happen sometimes, notably in GT and the cave leading to Mimic Cave.
I've had very little issue with it myself for whatever reason, but I've definitely seen lots of times where the bombs just decide to bounce further away from the wall than they need to blow it up. Nice small key. Not what Problems wanted to see, but actually I'm not sure if we got both items in Hera already. We'll find out shortly when Problems does or does not re-enter it.
Yeah, even if they don't go, that might not be an indication that we got every item here. This might be an indication that we don't want to do Power Room, but we are coming back in.
Yeah. Yeah, you're already at that point in the seed where I don't think you're going for speed anymore. You're going for, if you're somewhere, you check everything you can check in that area before you leave it. Because since we're already down to 3 items left until... Problems take the coffee break though. Problems is gonna send it to work.
Setting up the death warp, I imagine. Straight spec.
I'm a little surprised I said it all in 1.5 hearts, but most of these players are as consistent as problems are. That and they're not going to take that 1.5 heart as. First, problems leaves. Nice kind of burner there.
Ooh.
Butter sword. Both players checking Spike Cave at very close to. What are we doing, Kepasagi? Oh, you don't have the hammer yet.
Oh man.
Problem's just going to pick up all sorts of potions.
No reason not to.
Yeah, you only have 1,200 after already paying for Zora. The only thing left to pay for in this seat is entrance to pod.
Still has $800 after that. Goodness gracious.
Didn't a nice palace play here? We are. I find this a little interesting, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know if doing this before the Mire area is a great idea, but Problems is an experience right now. I'm sure they know what they're getting themselves into.
it's a little odd because this feels like a play that you make when you're behind and when you feel like you're behind, and I wouldn't think that Problems feels like he's behind right now.
Yeah, the only thing that really evaded them for any sort of like decent chunk of time was it's, and that was one of the last places they checked. I could definitely see maybe thinking they're a little bit behind.
Either that or someone has something mismarked.
That is also a possibility that's happened before. It's very easy in the heat of race to mismark pendant as a crystal. You can tell by the music, but if you don't play with in-game music, there's no way to tell. I'm not sure if Problems has music or not. We'll just assume this is intentional for right now.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to assume this is just sort of a gamble and pays off it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not really going to cost him too much other than more knowledge at the moment anyways. He is that, with the efficiency of what his routing has been, he's still going to, even after full clearing Ice Palace, he should still be ahead.
Yeah.
Interesting little note here, though. When you're full clearing Ice Palace, don't do the bomb jump when you have the hook shot into Canis Maria. First of all, you have to set up the bomb jump, and that takes a little bit. Plus, it's just relatively slower in general to do the bomb jump, because you're not going to go downstairs till you've full cleared everything else anyways. And this way, instead, I have to go some other way to the iced tea room anyways, so typically not really worth doing the bomb jump. Now, when you get as fast as Problems does, it doesn't really matter that much, because Problems just sort of walked into the room and immediately got it. Problems, what are we doing?
I think they were trying to just walk through the jellies to hookshot, but then all the jellies like got in the way of the hookshot.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Well, now we're getting into the real item checks. The item checks come hard and fast now that we've gotten to this point of Ice Palace.
Yeah, the bright side definitely has the majority of the chests here.
Well, and if we get the big key, it just keeps going.
Yeah, he did skip the freezer room as well, so...
Yeah. No big key yet, though.
And meanwhile, Kepasagi is clearing out Dark Death Mountain.
Yep.
And what, even though they couldn't do Spike Cave, the only thing that's really going to do is... ooh, we had literacy. Alright, I guess we're done here.
Yep, that must have been all 3 items. I wasn't keeping track, but don't see any other reason why we save and quit that fast, because the book wasn't that important to the current state of things.
The book does get us into the desert.
It does, but it's not go mode by any means.
Not
what
quite.
did we do wrong here, Problems?
I believe they just want to check the ledge item before going to Dark World, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe they're just like,
I think he was thinking that he could mirror into the back, then realized that, oh wait, I don't have the mirror. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Probably one of those things where it's like, I did the wrong route, fix it, and then he's like, oh, I did the right route, whoops.
Yeah, just a small mistake either way, if it was a mistake.
Anyways, we know we're full clearing, gonna be able to full clear desert, no problem. 2 items in here to find.
And this is a crystal, so I'm always a supporter of, if you have crystal dungeons you can complete, go do them.
Yeah, especially once you get the flute and you can sort of start almost exactly where you want to be for every dungeon anyways, so...
Yeah, Kepasagi activating their flute as well.
I'm just gonna go ahead and hope for some mirror on torch just to prove that the book was the way we're getting in here. Kepasagi gonna be the first one to actually check the mire area here. Let's see if he finds the mirror. This would be the other the counter side over that. That was Quake.
That was Quake.
That's not a good sign.
That's worrying.
I would not be at all surprised to see Kepasagi immediately dip the mire area, which looks like what we're probably going to get, because he has nothing else he can check here right now, other than the mire itself.
There is the bow and desert. I was about to say, imagine if bow's on pedestal, but it's not. It's
not, but Ether could be.
Ether could be. Mirror could also be there.
Mirror could be there. So, Head not at all, dead at all. Big fairy a little, pyramid fairy a little bit more dead. It could only have the mirror there.
It's true. The problem is just that bow is pretty huge, considering Pod and Eastern are both crystals.
Yeah. Eastern not as big a deal, given they already got all the items out of Eastern, which is part of the advantage of getting access to it. But Pod being a 5-item location that can now be full cleared for sure, definitely a big deal.
Yeah, and they'll be able to flute to 5, go to Eastern Palace, complete that, flute back to 5, and then go to Pod if they so desire.
Yeah. He might even want to start with Pod, because that way if he gets the mirror, he can mirror in Pod, he can mirror to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a good idea. Of course, if it's not there, you do have to save and quit. But
the save and quit is almost irrelevant. It's a very small time lost compared to the time save you get for getting that gamble right.
It's like 10 or 15 seconds, I would say. Yeah, but would you clear out desert? opting to use the silver strats. Silver arrows will one-shot line moles. It can be
Yep.
kind of hard to hit them because they're pretty dodgy, and if you fire and you miss, you can't actually fire until the arrow hits something.
Depends on how good you are at that hitting the line molas the moment they pop out.
And it's not as easy as it looks.
It's not, but it's definitely very possible once you get used to it. Meyer having the mirror. The mirror in Meyer. Kepasagi one advantage ahead at the moment. But still plenty that he's missing as well. Not yet having the hammer. And of course the bow as well. Problems is going to opt to do the Eastern before pod play. Which, as we've sort of mentioned before, it's not bad by any means. It's just really both sides work. And as we now know, the mirror's not going to be in pod, so this is the faster way of routing the two dungeons anyways. All right. Kepasagi still... I missed if Kepasagi has the big key yet. Problems running through Eastern really fast. This is like we don't have the big key yet. There's both items, though. That's both items out of Meyer. We're gonna see here. He is out. Okay. And that's access to desert for Kepasagi as well. If he was thinking about it, Kepasagi don't... Oh, okay, he's gonna go to the back entrance. That's actually probably a time save overall in the first place. But he's gonna go Checkerboard Cave first.
Yeah, that's a very big find. And Bo is very close.
Yeah, we know he's getting the bow very soon, which is going to catch him up quite a bit. The missing the hammer is now his biggest problem. So the question is, how soon does he go to 2?
I think I would check that before I do anything crazy like dipping the swamp. It's gonna be, do they remember they have the mushroom?
Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest part here is I did that myself recently, just went, I've checked everything, what did I do? Open my item menu, see the mushroom go. Okay, well I guess I know what I didn't check.
It's one of those things that's very easy to forget about. It's super hard to route that in without the flute or the mirror. Like, that's just a really out of the way location. It's very easy to forget about.
Especially for most people who use fake flippers, because we very rarely go to the Zora that way either. Most runners will fake flipper and go through the whirlpool.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure it's faster most of the time when we do it. It's just so often, we're so used to doing it that that's what we do.
Yeah, usually when you do that, you're in the area anyway. Maybe come from
or you have the flute, you just flute at 8 and...
Yeah.
You do it from there. Anyways, problem's getting his Eastern Palace clear. We gonna get that fly back to 5? Yep. So a lot of this race is going to come down to when does Problem check Meyer.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh?
Kepasagi just left before he checked the big chest.
What? No, that's not possible. Kepasagi.
Now it might be fine, because the one thing that you can do very easily here is make the gamble that Lanmo has it, and then you can go back anyways. I'm surprised you didn't go into the cannon room though,
Oh,
because that's 2 locations that are still in desert that you can check, and they're on opposite ends of the front dungeon. So I'm a little surprised.
Oh, and
but...
he got bow. What are you talking about?
Oh, he does have. Does he have bow?
Tricking me. Yeah, he does.
Oh, Big Key was on the torch. That's why
Yeah.
the routing was off.
He tricked me.
I
Good
did
job.
trick you. I didn't
Keep
mean
me
to
on my
trick you.
toes.
I tricked myself. And by tricking myself, I tricked you.
It happens. Alright. So Pod
Tracker-
was both locked.
Tracker, why you do this? You're messing us both up. Put all the blame on Planeswalker. It's totally not our fault. Planeswalker doing a fantastic job, by the way, everyone. We're not meaning this any way whatsoever. Oh. Well, that wasn't the one he tried to hit, but it works.
It does work. Yeah, but once they get out of the initial cycle, hitting them gets a little bit trickier.
Whoa, that was a visual glitch and a half.
Yeah, that does happen if you miss. Sometimes it does happen. So Kepasagi does clean up Land Mollusk.
Pod 100% bow locked as well, so probably a good thing that our runners didn't come here too fast.
Yeah, the good thing about a bow locked pod is you know it's bow locked right away, so you don't
Yeah.
waste too much time. The walk is what kills you.
Yeah. And I assume we didn't get the big key yet.
I think the big key was actually the
Was it
first
the
thing we got.
first thing? Okay, then I am a little surprised that Problems isn't going straight to Helmasaur then. Because it's actually a very efficient thing to, after you do the arrow path, just go to Helmasaur.
Yeah, I guess you could just come back in. That'd probably be fine as well.
Yeah.
It's
It's largely irrelevant. Not having the mirror is part of why I say that, though.
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit tough to death ward with red mail and 15 hearts.
50 cards.
Okay, so Kepasagi coming back into the Dark World up here. Maybe they're going to check the Graveyard Ledge?
Perhaps. Oh no, wait, no, we still don't have the hammer on Kepasagi, so it's not the hammer peg.
Okay, this does make sense. They could even go from the Graveyard Ledge to, if they haven't checked Catfish, they could head there and turn in the Mushroom along the way.
Come on, Hammer Yum Problems. That looks way too far right, but I don't think that matters. Ooh,
Maybe
Hammer
it
Yum.
matters a little bit.
It might matter. I don't know enough about Hammer Yum to really comment too much on it. Can't even comment on the lineup because I don't... It's double pixel perfect and I have no idea what the good lineup looks like.
That's
Looks
what
like
it's
that, everyone. It looks like that.
Yeah, well, doing the Hammer Yump actually does make a lot of sense here, because it will put them at the Hellway, and they can come straight down rather than having to Death Warp.
Yeah, exactly. It lets them do a circle instead of having to double back once or twice.
Yeah. Normally the Hammer Yump in standard mode is not relevant, but that's when the instances it actually can be, so that's really good routing. Alright, Kepasagi, do you remember you had the mushroom?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, he does.
God. Scaring me. Stop that. Wait, no, what? No.
What?
What?
We're gonna do it on the way back?
I guess.
Well, that being said, it wouldn't have been an awful idea to literally put the mushroom in and then go do catfish and do it on the way back or something silly like that. But like, what?
Huh. Well, you know, you get in these races, especially tournament races, the nerves get you. Sometimes it's easy to make indecisiveness can attack. Sometimes you make mistakes.
We'll see what we're gonna get from him here.
He's coming back now.
Because I don't think I'm not sure how much of value he's found since his last save in Quinn. That might be one of the things that's concerning him. Might also be the fact that he knows he has the flute, so he can fly here whenever he wants.
Maybe.
It's gonna hurt though, because of course now we know we can't full clear pod now.
I don't know. Okay, if they're gonna
He's got
check.
a hammer.
Okay, if they're gonna check Pyramid Ledge.
That B is out for blood. Okay, we got it. We got the B.
The B was indeed got. Problems is coming up on Helmsur King now. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're doing pod without a hammer.
Well, If Kepasagi... There is a minor glitch that lets you get to the back. But
Doesn't matter though,
they have the
because
bow.
you can't...
Yeah, they got the bow.
Oh yeah, we got the bow, but we don't have the hammer, and the hammer's what we need.
Yeah, that's also important. Unfortunately, the hammer, as we know, not in pod.
If you could get to Helmsor without the hammer, you'd be okay, because you can use bombs to blow off the face mask. It's just something you'll never see in non-Randomizer because you have the hammer, and the hammer's just more consistent anyways.
Yeah. It's actually really good Randomizer, especially if you get Helmsur King on Moldorm too. Just bomb from the top. But anyway. So, Problems has finished off pod.
Yeah.
Coming back in. Going back out. They gotta check their key count.
Did he not do every location?
I think he thought he did, and he just went back in and checked his key count to be absolutely certain.
Right.
Where do you go now? ProblemsIRL.
Well, the answer is almost definitely Pyramid Ledge and Catfish.
That seems good.
Because I don't see where else he'd really route to from here. Given the direction, that just seems further confirmed. It's not going to give him much, but...
Oh, might as well get him out of the way while you're here.
Yep. Kepasagi's going to have to mirror after this. That's not a huge deal, because he has a mirror.
Yeah, death warping from here is quite annoying, especially with so many hearts. You can walk downstairs and bump into the spikes, but that still takes a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like Problems is going to go straight to the Maya area after this. I don't see where else they really have available.
Yeah, because we already cleared Ice Palace and everything it could have. So yeah, so either you're gonna get a Mire Dip or you're gonna get the finishing of Skull Woods.
There's one item in Skullwoods.
Because I think Moth had the last item, right?
Correct. It was an arrow upgrade.
Yeah. So of course Problems doesn't know that it's just an arrow upgrade, but he does know there's an item still there. But here comes the Mire area check. seeing Quake, I would there's a very good chance that he does say, "This is Quake. I'm going to do this," just as Kepasagi did.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to at this point.
He already dipped Ice Palace. Like, you can't get. I don't see why you wouldn't dip Mire. Yep, here it is. A little surprised he didn't do checkerboard first, but. Oh wait, he doesn't have mirror. What am I saying? He can't do checkerboard first. Caught myself.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's not a lot really available to Problems aside from this, so I think he's just.
Yeah, and that's pretty much solidified that Problems has the very solid lead at this point, with the unfortunate circumstance of Kepasagi just skipping past the hammer.
Yeah, and Kepasagi did do some things, a few gambles, and that's just how Randomizer is. Sometimes you make gambles, especially if you maybe think the other runner is better than you. You might have to try and take gambles to get an advantage to actually beat them.
Yeah, and Problems has done a fantastic job of running everything very effectively. There's been very few execution-related errors in Problem play so far today. Been very impressive to watch for on Problem side. Kepasagi, on the other hand, having some of those indecisive moments, unfortunately.
Yeah, but this does happen, of course. This is a tournament, and like I said, nerves can play a big part.
Yeah.
Like, normal races are thumbing the chest, not happening. But yeah, it does. It's a very different environment. It may not seem like it is, but once you actually get in the hot seat.
Now, we still need that ether, so I'm not sure where else that could be. That I don't think it's really going to matter, though, given that Problems has pretty much caught up to every location Kepasagi has checked at this point.
Yeah, Problems, there's one or two scenarios, and that's going to be Ether is green pennant, or Ether could be on pedestal.
Yeah, and I imagine we'll see Problems full clear Mire at this point.
Yeah, I would say so. With so few places to actually check. You have silver arrows, you've got the lamp, pretty much anything that could actually eat up time here for Vitreous just doesn't exist anymore.
Well, and knowing that Mire is also the green pendant, so it's immediately a check without having to do any of the other pendants as well.
Yeah, also, we do have the tablets. I completely forgot about those. We have not checked those.
Yeah. Yeah, because we got the book so late and we'd already done Tower of Hera.
It would be awkward if Ether was at Ether tablet.
Well, at the same time, it would be fantastic, because that's where you want to be when you find Ether anyways.
Yeah, I guess so.
The only real problem is that there's nothing else up there that, like, it's a very long... Well, it's not actually that long anymore, even. We have the mirror now. You don't have to go all the way around Death Mountain just to check that location.
Yeah, and getting up's not too bad either. You have super speed, so...
Which Problems has had no difficulty showing off so far this race.
None at all.
He's been using it since minute 10.
Can't believe we got booed so fast. Yep, that was both items, so Problems will be completing the dungeon.
Yeah, so the real question is, will Swamp have what we need, or are we going to end up having, well, Swamp or Sahasrara have what we need, or are we going to have to, like, keep looking still?
That's a rough one. On the one hand, you want to go mode Swamp Palace. On the other hand, you don't want to do any of these other stuff.
To be fair, the nice part about I'll call it pseudo go mode Swamp Palace is that you can do that Swamp Palace where you just go straight towards Argus. And,
Right.
and you lose very little time checking all of those chests along the way.
Yeah, if you're ever one item away from go mode, I think the left side skip becomes a lot more justifiable. If you're still looking for 2 items, I think that's the scenario where I am not so much a fan of that. But
Well,
definitely in this scenario, it's pretty good.
and even the other side, I actually like doing the left side skip as long as I haven't found the compass or map yet in the first chest before I go that way. Because really, I want to do, if big key is let's say big keys on Argus, doing left side skip is faster. Just to full clear the dungeon as well. So really, the left side skip is actually more about gambling where the big key is and less about gambling of if there's something on left side. For anyone who's sort of ever looking at that, it's not purely a what's faster to clear the dungeon, because the answer actually changes with every seed, which way is faster to clear the dungeon. Just some food for thought.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting, because it really, like you said, it does also depend where the map and compass are. If you find either one of those, it also gets a bit shaky, more shaky, I would say.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen them, that also might just say they're both over there.
And that's definitely happened. It's not like that's... I don't think I've actually had it happen to me yet, but it's not to say that it's so rare that it's, like, impossible by any means.
No, certainly not.
Kepasagi with the Ice Palace dip. I don't think there was anything in Ice Palace of real note, unfortunately. Even further followed by the fact that Kepasagi doesn't have the hammer yet, so he has very few locations he can check in here.
He's so close. He was this close. He mirrored. He was right there.
Yeah, I'm very surprised about that check, because it even looked like he double-checked that he had the mushroom and then decided against it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he didn't want to spin the mushroom, so you do fake powder.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But I feel like you would have done that by now if that was your justification.
Yeah, probably. I'll be interested to ask if we get an interview with him.
Yeah. Here comes our swamp full clear. Or full clear to ether anyways, depending on where ether is. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, did we definitely find all the items in Ice Palace, or did we just, or was it just that we were blocked by the hammer? He didn't have the hammer at that point, did he?
I think he did actually have the hammer at that point, because he went upstairs, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's
oh yeah, that's right. He was at Vanilla Big Key Chest. That's right. I'm silly. Yep,
Yeah.
You're right.
So I'm not sure if we got every item or if they found the book and they just pieced out. I assume we did, but we'll know for sure looking at Kepasagi.
Yeah. I would not be surprised to see a pedestal check after if we full clear swamp and don't have ether. I would expect that's probably the next thing we're going to see. Would either be that or straight to ether tablet, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would definitely check either tablet before I went back there.
Well, pedestal's not the longest check either, but given that we have mirror, ether tablet's not a super long check. So yeah, because we know there's not going to be anything of any value in the Pyramid Fairy. Given that we have like everything of value to complete the seed already, aside from ether, and ether's needed to get the last red crystal.
Yeah, the only thing that would be actually useful, that Pyramid Fairy powder.
Powder or more bottles to a lesser degree.
I'm pretty sure there's no more wealth in Hyrule, so it's not like it could be money to buy potions either.
So we'll see. Shouldn't be too long till we get to go mode here, but Same time, could still be a couple dungeons for all we know.
Yeah, it's
Although
very...
you could argue we're not going to do a couple dungeons before we're in Go mode. We just won't have the items yet. We'll be that odd no mode version of Go mode where we are in Go mode, but we don't have all the items yet. Problems is going to start with left side, though. As we mentioned earlier, a little interesting, given that Swamp is a crystal. So the full clear does seem like it would likely be the faster way. But hey, if Ether's here, that's all. It's the right play.
Yeah, I think Problems is just resigning himself to having this anyway.
Yeah. And I would imagine, similar to what we mentioned before, there's I being off like keeping track of what other items are being found right now. I have no idea if we found a map or compass, but if we did, there's a good part of the reason why he might be doing this as well. Because as mentioned before, that's one of the main criteria I use to determine if I'm going to do left side first or not, is if I have a map or compass yet. Found a red rupee.
Yeah. If there's any items over here and you don't find your gun mode along the way, you're gonna check this anyway. Ooh, half magic.
Half magic, nice.
So this was not a complete waste of time. You check left side.
One of the few valuable items left. Depending on our runner's preferences, I'm not sure if someone would like to cape or not. Some players like to have cape. Given that we're at red mail and 16 hearts, I don't think it's really going to be anything of concern for these runners, especially with Buttersword. You're going to be one cycling Ganon anyways.
Yeah, cape probably not something they really care to see at this point.
If you get it, it's fine. It doesn't matter. You have an invulnerability item if you really want one anyways.
Yeah, and it's not like the downside of Burna. Well, there's two downsides. One would be Egg, of course. The other would be that you can't do spin attacks, but Buttersword spin attacks do the same damage as your slashes anyway, so...
Yeah. So very little reason to not... So, cape not really of concern. Just, the only real advantage of cape left is the fact that you can grab a wall and not use magic.
Yeah, it would make tile room a lot easier in GT.
Woo, tile room easier. No getting wall mastered on the 19th tile.
Oh boy. Alright, did Problems turn the green pin yet? I don't believe they did.
Yeah, don't think we intended to jump out of the water there, but hey. It happens.
It does happen.
And will we see the quick kill here? That might be it. Oh, I think he tried it. It just didn't quite work.
It's hard. This is much easier. It requires a lot less thought. Just grab him and slash him.
We are going to try to get the fire rod quick kill. Not quite.
Yeah, unfortunately if you miss that, it turns a 2-cycle fight into a 3-cycle.
Yeah. And it's the big key, just what we wanted to see. That's sort of the situation I was talking about before. The reason why I like going full Argus in most cases anyways is because I sort of gamble on the big key being there. So that's my other criteria if I do left side first or not. If I already have the big key, then sure, I'll do left side first so that I know I don't have to double back.
Yeah, and I think the big key being on Argus is an interesting edge case where it would actually be faster just to go to Argus and hedge your bets that way.
Anyways, Kepasagi here doing the Tower of Hera as we're going through here.
All that trouble for Big 20. Don't you have enough money problems?
We already said this an hour and 15 minutes ago. You have plenty of problems, but money ain't one.
For sure.
Here comes the green pendant check.
Alright, your problems this got their fingers crossed, I'm sure.
And it's Ether!
Oh boy.
Vitreous required.
Payoff is real. Alright, well that's go mode coming up on our final dungeon here.
That is a huge go mode. Kepasagi still short a hammer here.
Yeah, that's one of the I guess one of the problems with when you get a seed that suddenly opens up and you have a million locations to check. The progression you're looking for becomes that much harder to find.
Yeah. It's actually one of those reasons why I actually don't like finding hammers super early, because you end up with that edge case where you get Dark World access in the first 5 minutes, and suddenly you can go everywhere in the game. It's like, well, now what do you want me to do, Seed? I know what I can do. I can do everything. What do you want me to do?
Good luck figuring that out. You've heard of item chains? Well, here's the item picnic. Go crazy.
Which are, of course, also the seeds where you inevitably have to 100% the seed to find that last item. Kepasagi must have actually taken a quick bathroom break there, probably.
Well, these races are long, I mean. And so is this room. If you're ever going to do a bathroom break, maybe get another drink, this is the room you want to do it in.
Yeah. Meanwhile, problems into Turtle Rock now. Found the cape.
Cool.
Both players will find that cape. We'll have it. If anyone wanted a cape, they'll have it. Kepasagi back and racing again.
Excellent. The problem is opting to just pull across. Normally you're supposed to do that to the left because it minimizes the time that Link goes, like the screen will scroll back. If you do it to the left, it's shorter. It's not really that big of a deal though.
That's the reason. I was always wondering. That's one of the few little things that I've wondered about. There's a couple of them that I've started figuring out, like the little thing with Kiki. You'll notice that a lot of top runners don't dash all the way to the front of pod with Kiki in tow, and that's because Kiki will walk to the door. They'll walk to where you are and then to the door. So you actually want to cancel your dash before the door and let Kiki walk. Then Kiki's basically already in position.
Yeah.
So similar little thing there, of course. Nice little double cane there.
That looked cool. Yeah, Kepasagi just opted to come back to Meyer. I think at this point they must have just forgotten they had Mushroom.
Yeah, something like that. Because I said, the one reason I could think about it before was saying, well, I can just flute to it later. But
I mean, this is required, so it is good they're doing this. But
yeah, this is not. At least this isn't going to lead them away.
Yeah, this literally cannot lead them astray. You need Hammer to get into Turtle Rock, which they don't have.
And unfortunately, with the vanilla big key, we're not able to jailbreak that key, so chances are we're going to see some laser bridge. Unless we get that very odd key configuration that does not put a small key on Laser Bridge, which is possible, but very unusual.
It's very unlikely. I mean, why wouldn't you want to check Laser Bridge? Not trying to fill out the rest of the items?
Oh, obviously, yeah. I want to find that bombos and powder. Although, as we mentioned before, finding powder wouldn't be an awful thing anyways, but...
Yeah, I don't imagine Problems will need it, but still, you feel more comfortable having that, just in case the worst case scenario happens.
Even just for the room before Moldorm 2 to be able to max out your health with that quick one powder for 2... Hey, look, it's bombos.
Hey, that's one item. Now we need the bug net and the powder, please.
But yeah, so it's nice to be able to, even in just that last room before Moldorm 2, where you can powder a bunny beam and an anti-fairy at the same time and get 2 fairies and your entire health bar back.
Yeah, that does turn that room into a pretty much a full heal, full magic, which is really nice right before Ganon fights. You actually don't get your health or anything back after you beat Agnew 2. The game's pretty mean about that.
Will we get the Zero Cycle? I don't think we're quite fast enough for Zero Cycle. Nope.
Ooh.
Didn't quite get up enough in the face. Since he was firing from the back of the room, there was a lot of arrow travel time. But still very fast. 1 cycle is by no means unusual. It can take... Sometimes you don't even miss an arrow. Like I said, when you stand at the back of the room, you're pretty tight regardless.
Yeah.
Arrow upgrade on Laser Bridge. Arrows on Laser Bridge. There's the small key.
Yeah, really clean laser skips by Problems.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even think those lasers do anything looking at those laser skips. Nice little cane dash here. One of the niftiest little tricks there. It's actually very easy to pull off. I didn't realize how easy it was to pull off at first. Oh, that's not quite the way, Kepasagi. Up those stairs. The stairs. Okay, we're back down the stairs.
And this way works too.
It works too.
Got some nice arches. Beautiful scenery.
Oh, and we're getting the Zero Cycle for Problems on Trinex.
Wow, those heads didn't even move.
Now, the problem for Kepasagi is that doesn't do anything for him yet.
No, they're probably very
doesn't have a
confused
hammer, so he still can't get to... Come on, go to 2. Don't think that was going to 2. It was not. Did you just see the mushroom?
I don't think so. I think
I don't think so either. That was 7 fly? Yep, that was 7 fly.
Maybe they're checking Bombo's tablet.
Bombo's tablet? Yeah. Oh, we were a little late on this again. Everyone, quick, get your guesses in for in between 1 and 22. We don't have any bot on ALTTPR here anyways. But between 1 and 22 for the Ganon's big key. It could be anywhere in the tower here.
Yep. It's gonna be in tower room, I'm telling you now.
Oh, it's gonna be tower room? Okay.
It's Friday the 13th. Something bad has to happen. You can't get all the money, all the items, and everything.
I'm seeing some 13 guesses, probably in honor of Friday the 13th.
Okay, I like that too.
You know what? That'd be good. A nice little rando room big key. Although it might not be rando room if Problem says right side first.
Okay, Kepasagi finally remembering the mushroom. Some anger slashes there. Very understandable.
Problems with a nice little swag button press there. Kane dashing into this Mario block, then lifting the skull to open up the button so the Kane block could land on top of it.
It's so unnecessary.
But he did it anyways.
Showing off now.
Oh, come on, he's been showing off all race. He's gonna use bombs for this too, just for even... Oh, he missed it!
I mean, to be fair, if I could do this, I would show off too.
I had to use bombs for that the other day, actually. I had to do the torches twice without half magic, so I used my entire full magic refill in that previous room. Hey, look, it's powder. We found it.
Hey. Now where's the
Now
bug net?
Are we doing full right side or not? Oh, missed his dash stop there. We are not doing full right side.
Yeah, I almost never see
Yeah,
people go to ice armors from there.
very rarely do I see full right side, but it's a play that I have seen before. Like, it's a play I have done before.
And that is the fastest way to reach ice armor, so I guess if you're 100% convinced.
Well, and sometimes it comes down to I just want to take a different route from my opponent. And if you want to take a different route than your opponent, that's a very good way to do it. The other path that's been I haven't seen yet a lot in the tournament is the Dark Magician strat, doing the getting to this room first and then mirroring out and doing right side.
Yeah, the thing about Dark Magician strat, it is an interesting strat, but the problem is when it backfires horribly.
Yeah.
But it's still something to keep in mind. It is another thing you can do in this very, very big tower.
Kepasagi starting with Swamp Palace.
Yeah, they will be able to go mode this. They have everything they need now, so that's a nice comfort.
Yeah, they don't need to find the book. Because as we were mentioning earlier, we didn't need the book, we just needed access to Desert Palace, so our runners got it in 2 different ways.
Yeah, this is true, actually. Kepasagi does not need a book.
Which makes our comment about him going to Bombo's tablet a little superfluous, because that would have been really impressive.
Yeah, that would... yeah. Completely forgot. Oh, problems. Dropping some bombs, get them right back.
Yep. I think he's setting up for a specific bomb count here so that he has 1 less item swap to do. I don't know the details of how that works, though.
Yeah, if you run out of bombs, I believe that puts you on the hook shot. So if you drop a bomb down a pit after Moldorm 2, you don't have to menu to get your hook shot.
Fair enough.
I'd be more scared about missing my bomb in the final room before Moldorm 2. Like it bounces off the wall or something.
Yeah, I feel like at that point you sort of drop them all on the way to that type of thing once you've locked the door.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of losing a lot of magic there. I don't think it matters though. I'm pretty sure he has two blue potions, which is going to be more than enough for him to not have to worry about safeties at this point.
Yeah, I just have that magic as well, so should be golden.
Yeah. How's his marksmanship? Just fine.
Yep, no problems there. Alright, that was, I want to say 19?
I believe it is 19 would be correct, yeah, because 2021 then Tower would be 2022.
Yep, so if you guessed 19, congratulations. You win Herky Turkey's Love and Affection. That's it. No bots here today. That's only on the speed gaming channels, of course.
A little bit of silliness with the Mimic there.
Really good, Mimic rooms, though.
Yeah, very, very fast. The 1-1 to dodge him for an arrow, but very quickly corrected. What kind of cannon strategy are we going to see? Because one of the things you can do in this cannonball room is just jump off the edge, then immediately start dashing. Which is, I had a feeling, exactly what we're going to see.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the most consistent strategy for this room of booths, so it definitely makes a lot of sense. One thing I like to do in this room that probably not many other people like to do is use ether. So I don't get trolled by the skeletons.
Stulphos, Revenge of the Stulphos. Oh, that horse head was nice for not walking all the way up the conveyor belt, as he likes to do most of the time.
Yeah, they have have an interesting desire to journey around rooms sometimes. It's very
Well,
annoying.
it makes sense because if you take pure randomness and then put something that says you're going in this direction, aka the conveyor belts, it does tend to lead them, force them to go that way. So it's not overly surprising, but it doesn't change the fact it's really annoying.
Yeah, precisely.
Does he get it? Ooh, he got the second chance.
Really nice recovery. Usually you see people go between all three of them for that strat, but Problem's just doing it from a little bit away. Really nice. Kepasagi is in Palace of Darkness now as well. They'll be able to do this. They'll be able to clean this up, go to Eastern, and then head to Turtle Rock.
If he doesn't have Eastern, I feel like he did Eastern already. From the first time he was in Palace of Darkness. I think we might have just missed marking it.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. So you won't have to do that. You can just go to Turtle Rock. Awesome.
We'll wait for an item switch to make sure, because it should be at 5 crystals if that's correct. And we'll see an item switch very shortly here when he switches to Hammer for the basement.
Problems is coming up on Moldarm 2 now.
And there goes his remaining bombs. Give him powder.
And Kepasagi did have 5 crystals, so...
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so Eastern definitely done.
I have seen Problems have a little trouble in here before, just by getting too close to the edge and walking off after killing Moldarm, but does not have that issue today.
Sword beams are trolling Kepasagi a little bit. Sword beams are really nice for the entrance to the basement. You want to try to lose them before you get to this room, though, if you're not using spin strats, because otherwise your sword beams hit the terrapins instead of your sword, and then you get really sad because they don't die.
And you have a really good opportunity to actually lose your sword beams in the hallway leading up to that room, because there's one hurdle.
Although with red mail, sometimes that doesn't do enough. You can take the hit and still have full health. Nice triple. Nice triple.
Aghanim kind of gave that one away for free, I think.
Just one there.
All right.
There we are. Nice and quick.
Helmsur King going out for Kepasagi as Aghanim 2 goes down for Problems. Moving on to the Ganon fight.
Yeah, definitely. Problems will... Heck, he's very close to sub 140 right now, I think.
That'll be close. I think it might be... I don't know if he can actually get it at this point, but it's going to depend on Ganon teleports, probably.
Mostly that, yeah. Because the one cycle is on each phase is pretty much free. So you get 5 hits in here, maybe even all 6. Yeah, he got all 6. Took an extra hit just to make sure. 3, 4, 5, 6. One more for good measure, which I appreciate. Many more for good measure, which is probably very fair. Basically, any hits before his head spin animation finish are technically counted as part of the Trident phase. So lots of runners will use a couple extra hits there just to make sure they don't get overly trolled by uh-oh.
Oh my goodness. And phase 3 is usually not that bad, but that was a pretty scary one.
Fire Bats trying to troll us as hard as they can. And not quite.
Oh my gosh.
This will be good. This is a triple setup.
Yeah, that's a really good trick. If you delay the torch while Ganon's been teleport, and you light it, he will stop, and you can get really good triple setups, and that will do it for Problems. They do take down Ganon. Very convincing fashion. Really good race for them overall.
Yeah, for sure. And Problems walking through the door with an official time on SRTV of 1:39:35.
For this version of the logic, that is a really, really good time. Usually it goes up to like 1:45 or 1:50, even higher than that sometimes for the some of the more trolley seeds. So very well done.
It always feels like the bot actually learns how to make seeds a little bit better over time. I've found it might just be me, but I always find that like at the very start of a new logic, like you're doing egg in every seed, and then by the time you get further through, you start seeing that less and less. You start seeing some nice nuance to all the seeds, which is sort of what we're getting to here. Actually, I find.
I guess it depends on which seed you raise. Sometimes the cruelty gets more refined over time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like that double gloves at the start of the seed. Nothing, double gloves. Oh, okay, seed. Fine. Double gloves it is.
Yep, I do see ProblemsIRL in the waiting room. I'll go ahead and pull him in here. Looks like you want to chat with us. Hey, Problems GG. Congrats on your win.
Hello, thank you.
Alright,
like
how you feeling?
Weird.
Hey, Problems GG. Congrats
This
on your
felt
win.
like a really free seed, but my Ice Palace did basically
Alright,
have
how
me
you
worried
feeling?
for the entire end game. Like if
that's-
I would have saved like, I don't know, 7, 8, maybe 10 minutes if I just went to Meyer instead of Ice Palace.
You're probably a little correct. Kepasagi never even is never going to find the book here.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was between Meyer and Ice Palace for me, and in retrospect, Meyer was better because there's 5 items there. Like the shed, then 2 items in Meyer and the green pendant. And I went to Ice for some reason, and I found the book, and then I found the bow, and I felt like I made the god play. And later on, I found the mirror, and I was like, no.
Yeah, we were a little surprised because I think you already had the Titan mitts when we found the flute, I think, and I think we were both a little surprised that Meyer area wasn't like we always felt like Meyer area sort of like that. Oh yeah, I've got Titan's mitts and the flute. Time to go to Meyer area, and it just didn't happen for a while.
Yeah, I mean, after I made that decision for Ice Palace, I was kind of like, okay, I got to commit to it now. I didn't go to Meyer. I'm gonna hold off on it. But at some point, it was kind of unavoidable when it was only a bunch of remote locations left, and then Meyer.
You know, but definitely one of the things that helped you overall in this race was your efficiency. Your locations went back to back to back to back over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And Kepasagi just had a little bit of a problem stringing together his locations as nicely as you ended up doing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was also like the.
Kepasagi's making a mistake. He's forgetting that he doesn't have the big key yet. He just jailbroke the key.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna get to that big door. He's gonna get to the big key door and be a little sad here in a couple moments. Anyways.
I feel like the next big mistake that I made, and I actually got punished for it too, was not going to Sahasrahla right after Meyer. Like, it's kind of dumb to kill Vitreous for the green pendant and then not turn it in immediately in hopes of being able to go mode swamp. Like, it's either don't go to Vitreous at all or go there and then turn in the green pendant. But by the time I realized I was already in swamp, and then I was committed again.
There's worse mistakes you can make. That one at least only costs you the time it took to open the chest in swamp at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Versus the not dipping Meyer, as you said, may have cost you upward of 10 minutes, depending on how well you routed the rest of the seed after if you found that mirror that early.
Because after that, I probably go mode pod and swamp, and I never go to ice. So that's a good 10 minutes. That's it, I think.
Versus like 3 minutes in swamp, maybe.
Was that 3? I think it was more. I'm not sure.
It might be more. I don't know. Left side takes a while.
The items were pretty early.
You got half magic at least, right?
I did get a half magic out of it. That's true. But I also bought all these blue pots, so I didn't really feel like I needed it.
That's very true. Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to stay around. Kepasagi here probably will be. So he's of course in Turtle Rock right now. I'm not sure if you're in the stream, but he's in Turtle Rock. Just
I haven't
about to go
opened it yet,
downstairs.
Now,
So
the
he'll
thing
be
that
I'm probably going to be hopping out.
Yeah, okay, I'm about to say because he'll be another 10, 15 minutes. So what we'll just tell you here real quick is what he didn't turn in the mushroom for a
Oh
long
no!
time. And we got a little confused at one point because he was going to do catfish and he mirrored and he looked at the mirror and he looked at the witch's hut and we're like, okay, do it, get the mushroom. And
Maybe you wanted to save it for like a potential fake powder.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. I went to the witch after I save and quit off of Death Mountain, so I was planning on actually soft resetting if the mushroom didn't give me anything.
Yeah, we'd comment that we're like, why is he doing this instead of going to activate the flute? And then we're like, oh right, he wants to save it for the fake powder. And then you got the hammer. We're like, well, he's not going to save it for the fake hammer, fake powder now.
Yeah,
So,
that just resolved itself pretty much.
yeah. So you do move up. You got your first win in the tournament. Feel pretty good about that. How do you feel about your chances overall? Do you think?
I mean, I went pretty far in the Key Sanity tournament. I made top 8, and that's for sure a big confidence booster. Especially after I didn't even make groups in the fall open mode tournament. I kind of needed that. I hope I can make the brackets. I feel pretty confident in my ability to make the brackets if I put in some more time. I haven't really practiced a lot after Key Sanity, or played at all really. But I wanna pick up the pace again and put some practice in, and I'm feeling pretty confident.
Yeah,
You definitely
sure.
get a good show. Now I'd love to see more of you in this tournament.
Thank you.
I will say 140 is a pretty solid time to be putting up. In fact, most people that are putting up those times are at least going to get to the next round probably, but you never know. Unseeded tournaments can be very unwieldy at times.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean things happen, right? Like, I mean, I lost a good 10 minutes here, like we already said. So that's easy.
Yep.
Like a point. Like if that happens in another race, it might just lose me the race if I get unlucky. So.
Yeah, like even just Kepasagi skipping that hammer, that could have been the difference between this being a very tight race and it being what it was.
Exactly, it's random, so you never know.
Yeah. So we'll see. But anyways, yeah, any final comments you want to have here before you head off?
It was good fun. I had a terrible practice session yesterday, so I was kind of worried about today. But I felt like I played pretty well overall, and yeah, thanks to you guys for commentating, tracking, restreaming.
No, it's a pleasure.
Greatly appreciate it, and yeah.
Sure thing, and thank you for giving us such a fantastic race.
Thank you. All right, have a good one, guys.
You have a good one. We'll be here watching the rest of Kepasagi's race here.
Yep. See ya.
All right. Speaking of Kepasagi, we are in the final tail end of Turtle Rock here. Coming up on Helmasaur. Not Helmasaur, Trinex.
Mini Helmasaur.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Didn't find the bug net in that last chest in Laser Bridge. Sad face.
Oh well. I guess they got all the items except for the one good one.
Yeah. And we'll see how fast Kepasagi can do this. Kepasagi's still on Tempered Sword as well. Where was the other sword upgrade that he didn't get? Was it an Ice Palace or something like that?
The other sword. Yeah, at this point I can't remember anymore.
I can't remember because it wasn't even the last one. It wasn't even the last one that was the problem, I don't think.
Oh, it was in Spike Cave.
Spike Cave, yes.
And by that point, Kepasagi did not need to check Spike Cave.
So it was the last one. I think I mentally wrote off Spike Cave because the fact that Kepasagi, because as we mentioned, Kepasagi was going there and then didn't have the hammer.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Opting to take a drink just to be safe. Trinex does do 2 hearts of damage in this phase, even with red mail, so better safe than sorry. Alright, so Kepasagi will be heading to GT now.
Yeah, just to answer the question, yeah, as the question in chat has already been answered, Kepasagi most likely does know that Problems IRL has finished, but especially once you're already in go mode, you definitely just want to finish it so that you know what you can do in a tournament-style setting. Just finish it. Know what happened in the rest of the seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine either way. If you want to forfeit, that's fine. If you don't, then that's cool too. We do get to see more of the race, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, aside from the skipping hammer, I don't think he has a lot to feel awful about, too bad about in this one. The hammer's gonna. There's probably some salt about the hammer, but
yeah.
Aside from that, he played a very sound race overall.
Yeah, and that mirror, he did find that first, so that was something that paid off for him in the end. It's just unfortunate that the run around trying to get the hammer sort of lost that advantage.
Yeah.
But it happens. This is rando.
And off we go. So oh right, that's where the big key was. Where was the big key again?
It was at the Ice Armor's chests.
Yeah. It was vanilla. It was 100% vanilla. Not even just to the room, it was the chest.
Yep. So good thing they ended up skipping right side for that reason.
Yeah.
We'll save them a little bit of time, and I don't think there's anything good over there anyway, except from, I guess Magic Powder was over there.
Magic Powder was there, yeah. I think we still have another potion, and that should be enough to get us through this with 17 hearts and such.
Yeah, most likely.
So much safeties in this seed. Now, granted, not having Butter Sword will affect a tiny amount. Mostly it affects the first phase of Ganon. It's very hard to one cycle the first phase with Tempered Sword. But
yeah,
that's gonna hardly matter, most likely.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a big issue. Even has Cape. Did not get half magic though. They did go mode Swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, don't dash off the edge. It's not what you're aiming for. Into the rando room we go. Just as we're watching what we've already watched, just want to give our shout-outs, of course, to for everyone. Everyone, of course, make sure that if you've enjoyed the show that Kepasagi and Problems IRL have put on for us today, consider giving them a follow. I'll just quickly throw the command in chat there. I know that never know exactly what they're running, but you'll see at least one race on each of their channels for the next 6 weeks as well, so they'll be around. And of course, we couldn't have this today without our tracker and our restreamer. So thank you very much, Planswalker. I know you missed marking that bow, and you messed us up momentarily, but we've all forgiven you for that. And thank you, Data World, for restreaming the race and letting us be able to show off what everyone can do in this tournament.
Here we are on Ice Armors. Very easy pose, Lords.
Solid marksmanship.
I've been eating this once.
We're gonna open the other chest. Will we get the bug net? Nope. No bug net. It could still be at the top of Ganon's tower, and since he doesn't have Butter Sword, he has all the more reason to still open those chests near the top.
That's true. This is true.
Unlike Problems, who literally had everything he could ever want unless he wanted the bug net for Aga too. Already, Kepasagi, of course, missing both the powder and the butter sword has much more reason to. A little bit of problem controlling the mimics here. We're getting there. Okay, we got there.
Yeah, in addition to holding the wall while you're not moving, you can also slash your sword and hold movement directions, and mimics will move while you'll just stay in place. So that can be a very useful tool to manipulating their movement as well.
Basically, mimics are, I believe, always moving based on what arrows you have pressed. I'm not sure if they ever stop for any reason. Whereas, of course, you only move when you are able to move.
Yeah, well, if you're holding a direction, when you grab onto the wall, they won't move.
Right, there is that situation.
I'm not sure if there's any other ones.
Yeah,
but that's the one that comes to mind.
We closed the door again. We got it. We did not leave before we reopened the door. Igor's trolling Kepasagi there a little bit, pushing him back onto the button. And we're going to fall in the pit. Will he just dash all the way across? He will.
Yeah.
Going to pick up the safety room here. Just one of those little bits of interesting trivia for everyone. That's the location that we know that the developers intended bonking over pits with boots to be an intentional ability. Because the only way that you can get to that you can get over that gap is with a boots bonk or a bomb jump. But bomb jumps are a little. Bomb jumps are, I think everyone agrees, are a little bit more coincidence of coding versus intention.
Well, I guess we'll never know. We'll just have to wonder for the rest of eternity. But no, I think you are correct. I don't think bonking was ever not intended.
Yeah. Because there's too many places where it's set up where it looks like it would work, that it just makes sense that it was intended to some degree. The entrance to Mire being another very clear location where boots bonking actually makes sense.
Yeah. One thing about this room is the silver arrow shot. Sometimes as you saw, the Stalfos will opt to just move in a different direction. I believe if you use the fire rod and you hit the skull, the splash damage will always kill the skeleton.
I wouldn't say always. If the skeleton just decides to not even go right, then you're out of luck regardless. But it's definitely a much higher chance because the arrow's a very thin hitbox and it doesn't have the after effect. Oh. Might have been able to get a double arrow there if you'd been really, really quick on the trigger. Shouldn't be any problem, though. Expect he'll probably pick up at least the heart, if not both the heart and the magic in this room. Nope, he's just gonna go straight through. Who needs magic? There's two more full magic pots on the way up. That's all that matters. Oh, miss. Okay, we got there.
That happens. I have more trouble in the conveyor room.
Yeah, the conveyor one's tricky. For some reason, I've started having problems getting the third one now, or the last one, I mean, in this room. First couple times, I'm like, yeah, I can just do this, run up to him, slash him. Nope, not anymore. For some reason, I just gained there a moment too late.
I should have plenty of magic for this, though. I mean, you've got the lamp.
He's gonna lamp it up, yeah. You always have two magic pots underneath skulls in here as well. You've got one above the bottom torch and then the one below the bottom torch.
And there's, of course, the full magic in here if you need them for the torches above it. Sometimes I like just to grab that and camp out in this room until I hear a jingle, just so I never despawn GT.
Yeah, I've managed to not despawn GT yet, but it's not a fun thing to happen. Basically, you can still move around to some degree, but nothing actually interacts with each other anymore. So, have fun. Oh, we're not going to get no chest checks.
Alright, well, Kepasagi probably just wants to be done with the seed. It's understandable. Yeah. They troll them quite a bit.
So we probably won't open this either because we don't have powder. Yeah. Not going to pick up the magic either, though, which is interesting. I'm surprised I hit the tail, but hey, whatever works.
Spin hitbox is pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah, you can take that back.
Now he changed up the hook shots. Now he messed up that part of the room too. So I was like, well,
Yeah, boots is okay though. If you can get a good dash, you might not even need the hook shot.
not the worst I've seen that room get.
No, I've had it go really bad. I've got it where the bumper will push you into the spikes, and you're just trapped underneath the bumper as it moves. Ooh, really nice triple for Kepasagi.
Both players got that triple.
Yeah, it was a really nice setup for it.
Not bad at all.
You're not gonna bomb him?
Probably forgot that he has the bombs equipped. Don't usually have bombs equipped at this point. Usually it's a hook shot.
Yeah. Trying to get the bonk in midair, I'm assuming. He wants to farm the bomb count. The bonk count, rather. Alright, we're coming up on Ganon now. Like you said, a tempered sword. The timing is a bit tighter. Sometimes you might not get the one cycle. Oh, we're going down to get the...
Fairy?
Seems like it. Really good to keep in mind. This tree, bonk it always drops fairy. If you get here with low health or whatever, you need a refill. There you go.
There we go, got the hook dash. And then we got bonked by that guy. Oh no! Boot speed, why?
Boot speed giveth and boot speed taketh.
One hit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And about now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So next one will be the 12 hits. 10, 11, 12? There we go. Scared me for a moment there, Kepasagi.
Scared Ganon a little pinch.
Oh. Okay, we're getting the hits now. Everything is fine. We're into the easy part of the fight now. Going straight for the torch glitch? I don't even... Yes, we are. Oh, we missed the torch glitch, though.
It's a little bit late there.
I was about to say, a little surprised he's pulling out a blue potion just quite there, but...
Yeah, I think he just wanted to make sure he had it.
Yeah. Yes. Before he kept using the torch and ran himself out of magic. He might not even need any more magic, because he gets a hit here, and that's it, right? Yeah, that's it.
Wow. That was a very weak teleport right there at the end, but Kepasagi taking down Ganon.
GG Kepasagi.
GG indeed.
Walking through the door with an SRTV official time of 2:04:27. Definitely still a very respectable time. Anywhere under 2:15 seems to be about that point where you'll finish just about every seed once you really start to get used to the routing and everything. So
Yeah, and most of Kepasagi's time lost there was just hunting for the hammer.
Yeah.
All right, I do see them in the waiting room. I'll go ahead and pull them in. Hey, Kepasagi, GG.
GG there indeed. We have you there?
GG, thank you.
There we are.
How you feeling?
I swear that the number of times I had to tell myself, you don't have hammer, is more than the bunks that I had.
That's
Oh,
impressive
no.
with how many bonks you farmed at the end there in the Aga room and such.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to make those counts pretty similar.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just ask this since it's probably the thing that we're all thinking. What were you doing when you went to the catfish and you mirrored in front of the witch? We thought you were going to turn the mushroom there. Did you forget you had it? Maybe.
No, I remembered I had it. I remember thinking, I didn't do fake powder yet. I should probably hold on to it.
Yeah, we were thinking that
And
that
then
maybe
it ruined my life.
Yeah, we were thinking, okay, well, they probably want to hang on for fake powder, but the time went on and you actually didn't do the fake powder. We were getting a little worried you forgot about it.
I had held on to it until I realized that fake powder would not help me, and then that's when I immediately went to turn it in, and then
Yeah. Well,
Right.
that'll happen to you. This is rando, you know? Sometimes that'll just... bad things
Yeah.
will happen.
And Problems made a similar play sort of on the other side. He did a save and quit, then went to the witch, turned it in, then when he found out it was hammer, it's like, oh well, yeah, I'm not gonna reset because that's what I want anyways.
okay, I see.
So maybe that's a strategy you want to keep in mind in the future as well, is trying to route it in shortly after a save and quit, so you can just sort of go, well, it wasn't what I wanted, I can just reset now, or you can go, well, it was what I wanted, now I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, you are allowed to hard reset. That is allowed.
Yeah, I do know that. I just didn't think of it.
Yeah. So this is your first tournament, right?
Actually, I was in the Key Sanity tournament.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, I believe I actually, yeah, okay, I do remember now. But we were thinking maybe some nerves were getting to you as well.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It was definitely very solid. You had the mirror actually well before Problems did. He dipped Ice Palace fairly early and left Meyer till basically last on his list of possible things to do without mirror. So if you'd
okay.
if you'd grabbed the hammer when you were first there, you were probably still behind him, but you would have been actually very close.
Okay. I mean, in all honesty, I went into this race knowing that I would just be behind the whole time, and it was just kind of a no expectations, just get the practice in sort of race for me.
Yeah, we said that was probably another thing. You knowing that you're facing someone that's strong, you know you have to make some choices that are going to potentially put you behind to try to put up a showing that might win.
Yeah, and that said, I don't want you to think we're talking down to you because you did a great job in this race. I don't want you to feel bad about anything.
Oh, I don't. I'm pretty proud of the improvements that I've made and the time that I put up, actually.
Yeah, you should be. I just want to make that clear. It's okay.
Oh no, I'm the first person to say that I'm not good enough to race against Problems.
Yeah, and we said it was one of those interesting things. So Book was deeper in Ice Palace, so that's how Problems got access to Desert Palace.
Oh, okay.
So that was also another little interesting thing, was the fact that you got access to Desert Palace by mirroring in, and he got access to Desert Palace by walking in the front door the normal way.
The miracle of Rando.
The miracle of Rando. Okay, so you do go to 0-1, but you got 6 more races, plenty of chances to get that score up, maybe get to the bracket stages. What were your expectations coming into this tournament, and how do you think you're going to do overall?
I mean, going into it, after some practice, I don't think I'll make it to bracket, but I think I'll put up a good showing.
Yeah, I would say you definitely have a good chance for that, and I would really like to see more of your races. So I'll be keeping an eye out for you.
Well, thank you. And thank you both for commentating, and to the lovely tracker and restreamer, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
As we are winding down, let's go ahead and mention them again. Our tracker was Planswalker. Our restream was Data World. Thank you both.
As one final thing that we didn't touch on before, make sure if you are looking to get even more randomizer, follow the ALTTP randomizer channel. So you're on the first one right now. Follow 2 through 4 are also going to have races, as well as the Speed Gaming channel. Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 5 are all in use right now, and Speed Gaming 6 is going to be coming up shortly as well in the near future. Not sure if it's going to be in use for this tournament though. So
Yep.
do definitely, if you're looking for more rando, there's a couple follows to hand out for sure.
Yep, and of course, follow both our runners, Kepasagi and ProblemsIRL. Make sure you catch their next races. I think that about does this for us, man. You have any final thoughts, Spiffers?
No, it was a fairly solid seed. As we said, the trolliest part there was Dark World access. It just sort of went, we have no Dark World access, we have no Dark World access. Oh, look, you have Dark World access. And but no, fairly straightforward seed overall. It seemed like a fun one, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.